All right, so in this video, I have a pair of Nike Off-White sneakers that I'm really excited to get in and on feet. And this is probably the most slept on colorway of all of the Off-White Air Force One collaborations that we've seen. Anyways, we have the Volt colorway of the Air Force One. Gotta love this one, man. I think this is one of my favorite ones. Secretly, this is just one that I've been wanting to pull the trigger on for the last couple years, honestly, and I just haven't done it. Prices were down around 450s, and then of course with Virgil's passing, the prices have shot up over about $1,000 now for these. But I still think that these are the sleeper of the bunch of Air Force Ones. Any which way, let's go ahead and get into the review on these guys. What is going on, guys? Hes here. Hopefully having a good day out there. Thank you guys for stopping by and watching. If you guys are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. And if you guys haven't used my website, Collective Kicks, post a bunch of sneaker deals for you guys on a regular basis. A big shout out to Kicks World for actually sending this pair over. This is a pair that I'm going to be keeping. And if you haven't heard of Kicks World, it is the first premier sneaker subscription service that you can actually rent sneakers from. And I know sneaker rentals aren't going to be for everybody, but if you guys are interested in using their service, you can save like 40% off of your first month, depending on your tier, with my link in the description. So it's something you can consider. Honestly, when you're buying really hype sneakers for the first time, if you've never tried them on, using a subscription service to just try them out for the first month. It doesn't have to be the most hype Air Jordan or Dunk or Yeezy or whatever, but it's nice to be able to just get them in hand and most importantly on feet. That's the best part about their service. You literally get the shoes, you throw them right on your feet, and you're good to go for the month. Then you return them after a month, and then you can cancel your service, or you can actually keep the product if you want to pay out at market value. And then if you're still interested in their services, you can check out another pair of sneakers for the next month. But again, like 40% off with my link in the description will take you over with my referral. So I can't say enough good things about this colorway. I really like this colorway. The Volt colorway is super fire. It's just the one that I definitely was looking at and gravitating towards in the past. We've seen a bazillion collaborations with Air Force Ones and Nike in the past, and so it's nice to be able to have this crazy Volt colorway of the 10. And I like the offerings of what this one has on it. So on the back, it does say the logo and the swoosh right down here. There is no Nike logo on the center of the tongue. It's actually on the side. Right over here, which is similar to what we see on like the Off-White Air Jordan collaborations. The upper is a mix of like 4 different materials, which is kind of dope. You have a fused material, you have some like Frankenstein stitching around the toe box that has a fused material over top of it. Then you have like a mesh material over the toe, and then a diamond shaped material around the mud guard, another mesh underneath the logo, and the Nike swoosh on the side is actually kind of cool too. It's like a black rubberized logo around the side, but you can see the top of the swoosh is actually outside of the stitching. And then you have that Frankenstein stitching all the way back and around. And the swoosh has actually come back and just start to go right underneath the heel tab here, but normally it actually goes and wraps all the way around. This one it doesn't, it actually stops right there. Also, you have the Off-White Beaverton, Oregon branding underneath the Nike swoosh on this side. And then on the heel cup, it's actually kind of like almost a plastered sort of heel cup, which is very similar to like the Off-White ones. And a really nice suede material for the logo swoosh as well as on the lace holes. That diamond shaped material is actually the same stuff they use for the tongue as well as the quarter panel back here. And then you do have a raw edged exposed foam on the collar as well as on the tongue. The laces are definitely something very interesting. It's almost more plasticky than nylon, and it's like very tough and actually really hard to lace. They also came with a second set in black, which actually would look really good on these as well, but honestly I like the Volt vibes with just that little hit of black. You have that Air Force One outsole and midsole in that Volt color as well, with air in quotes on the side, and then it has the Off-White logo and the 10 on the insoles of the shoe. The hang tag says Off-White CO Nike, and it says 2017. But these were actually released 2018 in December, and I think they were like 170 or something like that at retail. And this is actually my first pair of Off-White Air Force Ones that I've tried on, and I actually got a size 9, which is probably a little bit of a mistake. I should have probably gone up with a 9.5 because they do fit true to size. In a regular Air Force One, the preference is usually a size 9. I do get a 9.5, which is my true to size sometimes in regular Air Force Ones. However, if I do, usually it does give a little bit of extra wiggle room in the toe box. So there's 6 different colorways of Air Force Ones and Off-White collaborations that have released so far. I'd say the black one is probably the worst of the group just because most people just don't really love black Air Force Ones. However, those ones aren't bad with the white swoosh. It's just probably the least favorite of all of the Off-White Air Force Ones. The Volts are actually probably the number 5 spot for Off-White Air Force Ones. I think that this colorway is a little bit more accessible than some of the other colorways, which is why it's probably less desirable than some of the others. And then you have 2 different versions of white Air Force Ones. The one from the 10, the original one that released, and those ones are actually pretty sought after as well. But they actually have a simpler white version of Air Force One that was released at ComplexCon. I believe it might have been the only release, But those ones are selling for like $4 grand now. I don't even understand, which is just nuts because the upper materials are different. It just looks like more like a standard Air Force One with a little bit of accents versus the full on difference from Air Force Ones. And keeping that same vibe, you have the University Gold and then the MoMA or the MCA off-whites with the powdered blue. Both of those ones are selling for thousands as well. So these ones are lower on the totem pole, like being like the 5th spot out of the 6 collaboration we've seen with Virgil. And I think it's probably underrated, honestly. I actually personally prefer the Volt colorway over the University Gold colorway. And I know that obviously the resale on those ones are much higher than these. If there was no resale on any of the 6 that released and it was up to me, I would probably choose the white ones first because it's the original one. But then I would go with these ones. Then I would probably go with the baby blue joints, the complex cons, the University Gold, and then the blacks. That's my personal order. But what do you guys think about the off-white Air Force Ones? Do you guys think that this colorway is slept on or not? I mean, obviously it's still like resale for like almost $1,000 now, which is insane. When the hype kind of dies down, if it ever dies down, which I don't know if it will, I still think that this is one that people are going to be looking at and going, dang it, I wish I would have pulled the trigger on those a long time ago. But that's just my thoughts. Leave some comments. Let me know what you guys think and which is your favorite Air Force One from Virgil that ended up releasing. Again, if you guys are interested in using Kicks World, check out my link in the description. It will save you like 40% off of your first month. I say like 40% because it depends on the tier that you're going with. I think the lower tiers, it's like 40%. For the upper tiers, it's like 33% or something like that. But any which way, thank you guys for stopping by and watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and hopefully we'll see you back for some more sneaker videos on my channel. All right, peace, guys.